we are a college of business. It's an accredited institution by the AACSB. We have meetings every year. Well, we used to, not anymore. In one of those meetings, I think Penn State is one of our members. So they talk about what they did and they talk about the one button that they created, not the commercial product that you have. I was interested on that. I took a look of that. I think when I came back, I Googled that, and somewhere somehow I ran into your webpage, and that's how I contacted. I actually went back, checked my records, and it was April of 2019 when we actually placed the order for the One Button Studio. Um, we have been using it since then, basically. Yeah.
It sounds like you've got mostly teachers that are using this
Correct.
in your
Yeah.
school. I know some schools mix it up and they have teachers and students, or just primarily students. For you
Yeah.
guys, what are kind of projects are teachers doing
Well,
with this?
well, initially, because this was funded directly by the College of Business Dean office, the Dean's office funded this. Um, we have been users of Panopto for a few years already, and we were creating lectures and stuff for the videos, and those were fine. But the idea originally was to create a room that can be used by faculty to create more engaging material. Okay. We came out through the One Button Studio. One of the first things, of course, that any institution has to do when they do this in the planning phase is location. Where are you going to put this? And of course, it has to be in our building, and we don't have extra room. So actually, I found what it used to be kind of like a large storage closet. And we turned that area that happens to be the minimum dimensions required for the room to work acceptable. We use that room. So there was a little bit of project management in that, in the sense that we have to work with the university to literally turn that room, a storage closet that used to be a large storage closet, into a room that we can use as a recording studio, paint walls, put carpet, everything, etc. It was basically a rough area in there. So that's one of the main things. We got a very good support from our dean, um, and they pay for all the renovations and everything, and of course the actual unit, the One Button Studio. And I have to give some kudos to Jason here, because he came directly, set it up in our room, and that's a service that we don't get nowadays very often. So he came a couple of days and we worked. He left it running basically, and over the year we have been improving the system and the configuration, and it's getting more and more automated and better to use, and more features for the users. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I was there, I got you upgraded to the integrated console, which is you can see it behind me here, and so it's just got the keyboard and mouse for the user. It's got the custom control panel. It just kind of brings everything together, cleans up the desktop, and so that's how all the Plus systems ship now. The Basic and Green have their own consoles. They're just smaller and simpler as well. But yeah, so these are shots that I took last time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks pretty good for a storage closet.
Yeah. I can see the new carpet. Yes. You can see the sound proofing in there, and the green screen area in the back.
Yeah, and just for the sake of clarity, it's not soundproofing per se. It just helps kill the reflections when you're in a room that has just bare sheetrock walls.
Mm-hmm.
The voice just tends to go everywhere, and it sounds like you're in a tin can. So these acoustic panels just hang there. They absorb some of that reflection and definitely improve the audio.
Surprisingly enough, accountings, the heavy users that we have are the accounting department. Yeah. Well, there's a history behind this. Initially, it was just for the College of Business. We have kind of local control of who can use it. And we have 4 GAs that work with me in my office. Basically, when a faculty schedules the room, I send a GA there, and the GA kind of goes with the faculty hand on hand, doing the first couple of recordings until they are confident enough, because it's very easy to use. That's the one of the main advantages of the system, that is safe a lot of times in producing the video. That used to be really a lot of work hours. We still have those productions also, the all-star production. We have another room that is a classroom that we set up and we record, and then we have a green screen and we have to manually put the stuff. But that takes a long time. The advantage of the One Button Studio is the easy of use, and that it produces the output in minutes, and it's ready for you to upload to your LMS. We do have that. So the accounting departments are the heavy users now. As soon as COVID happens last year, ITD reached out to us. There was a push to move everything online. We made the room available to anybody on campus. So now we have from all disciplines. The library uses several times. I use it every week because in my classes that I teach, I have a weekly news that I create a short video, 3-4 minutes maximum, in which we cover the news of the week. This is what we're gonna do this week. I tend to use it in a way that it changes every week. So the first week was just normal, and other weeks I can use a Mexican hat and put a Mexican picture behind me, like I'm in Cancun or something. Other weeks I have a stormtrooper hat that I wear, and I do all my presentation with the stormtrooper hat, and the background is actually the stars. It's like I am in the space. And my students really laugh. Some of the comments that I get from my classes that my students really like. Students, when they use the One Button Studio, she can communicate the energy behind the lecture. That if it's just a narrated PowerPoint, you just hear a voice and you see the slides. You don't see anything. But by she being inserted in the presentation through the green screen in the One Button Studio, the students can see her energy, her love for the subject, and can communicate. The students can feel that in the presentation, and that's something that comes across in her videos, of course. And the second comment, and it's basically what I told you earlier, is that for the first time ever in her evaluations, the students mentioned that they love her lecture because they are so engaging, different than just a PowerPoint with voice over voice, basically.
Well, that's great. You sort of answered one of the questions, because I think for faculty, this may be new for them, and for faculty who are going up the promotion rank, student evaluations are critical. And I was wondering whether students actually, voted with their opinions when they did their faculty evaluations of people using the studio.
Yeah. So I think it's a great point that it's really cool to be able to see body language and facial expressions during these presentations, because those are all a big part of how we communicate, how we feel, right? So it's more than just the voice. So with this system, you get the face, you get the body, you get the voice, and plus the presentation, and it's all put together, live, composited together for you. So
I know that. Yeah, I just want to interrupt you, but I know that there are other kind of projects being used also. I know somebody came, and I don't even know what department was this professor. He stayed there for 4 hours, a couple of weekends, 2 or 3 weekends, stayed there 4 hours. On a Friday, he came, and we just opened the dorm the first time and showed him what to do, and he recorded. And I think he told me that every new time that he recorded, he got better and better. He was doing some type of training materials. I don't really know what they create.
I mean, so in this age of COVID that we've been forced into, it's really cool to have a room where a single person can go in, and we're not worried about crew members with cameras and equipment and, being too close to each other and all those things. So you've got this isolated room that one person can go in and use and walk away with these recordings.